You know what's interesting? I reposted a video of this African dude like acting like a monkey. He was jumping on a table and eating bananas and just making monkey sounds and I posted the video. And the tethers got mad at me for posting the video instead of getting mad at the dude in the video. You got zero smoke for the dude acting like a monkey in the video. And you know what's interesting? When we post that grooving gorilla dude, whatever his name is, Big Groove, the big old swole dude who'd be wearing them booty shorts, um, twerking and eating hamburgers with the big wide mouth. When people post those videos, you get criticized for posting his videos, but the tethers never criticize their fellow weirdo tether. You never criticize them for doing all that goofy ass stuff. And yeah, we're going to say something about it because here's the thing. They say we're xenophobic for posting it and showing stereotypes. We don't want those stereotypes to fall on us. You guys are perfectly fine with that goofball stuff as long as the stereotype falls under the umbrella of blackness. We're letting you know, hey, y'all not gonna be out here having these dudes twerking and acting like monkeys and then we all black. No, no, no. That person ain't got nothing to do with our lineage. If you twerking in a kente cloth thong and eating bush meat and acting like a monkey, we're letting they ain't got nothing to do with us. We ain't got to answer. We ain't making no excuses for them. You go holler at the immigrants who let that go on. That's them doing that. And I don't want to hear about, oh, that's xenophobic. Why are you showing us like this? Because when you have your fellow immigrants come over here, and I keep pointing this out, they create platforms to show the most negative images of foundational Black Americans, i.e., World Star. World Star made millions. It was created by a Haitian immigrant, and he made millions before he died. The ancestors got him. But before he died, that man Q made millions of dollars portraying foundational Black Americans in a negative way. The Ugandan dude who created Media Takeout, they made a grip showing negative images of foundational Black Americans. The Nigerians who have the Shade Room, they made a grip showing negative images of foundational Black Americans. Bossip, those are tethers too. They make a lot of money showing negative images. That Sandra Rose, that's another one. That's a tether. She's a tether. That's not her real name. And she didn't made a living doing that stuff too. These folks come over here and create these blogs, and all they do is show negative images of foundational Black Americans. And I knew something was, I keep telling people I knew something was up years ago because all of these blogs would always show hood this, hood that, all of this negative stuff. But then anytime they would show anything positive about Black people, it would always be foreigners. Every single time. They would always show these Nigerian weddings and Ugandan scholars getting some kind of PhD. Everything about Africa and the Caribbean, it would always be positive every single time. And I said, wait a minute, wait. Who's running these damn sites? That raised my antennas. Who's running these sites? And I started looking in the backgrounds, and every one of them I noticed years ago they were non-FBAs. So they had a head start on showing these negative images of us on a massive scale. The Love and Hip Hop shows, Haitian Mona Scott made a grip showing those negative images of Black people. And that's what they got them for. The white studios, they went and got some of these Haitians and Caribbeans and African folks to cosplay as us so that they can use them as a shield. Let me tell you something. Remember, man, I worked in television. Right when I started, right before I started doing my podcast almost 20 years ago, I would do these shows for VH1 and MTV. I would do a lot of these shows, and all the producers would be white. And at the time, the big thing was flavor of love. The flavor of love, that was the big thing. That really kind of set the tone for a lot of the ratchetness that went on. It was white producers putting that together. So they started to want to clean their image up. So they wanted to get Black people who kind of had respect on the grassroots to kind of come in and balance the stuff out. So they would bring me into some of these shows. They had a show called Charm School. They brought me in, they brought in Monique to have her host it. And, Monique, that's an FBA sister. And no matter what people think about, her or whatever, she was a rider. And what would happen, they would have all that ratchet stuff go on. And, people like Monique was calling that stuff out. Monique was backstage checking them producers for all of the negative images they were allowing to go on. I sat there with Monique and saw her checking them white producers on that bullshit. She was telling them, "Hey, this y'all got these black women fighting and acting a fool. That's not cool. That's no, no, no. We don't need that image of sisters out here like that. We would check these people." And these producers figured, okay, maybe if we get some people you know, who ain't from here, they can look at things a little bit different. And that's exactly what they started doing. They started getting these non-FBA um, producers and showrunners to work on these shows and elevate them as executive producers and elevate them as heads of the show, so they can put all of the blame on them if there's a pushback, because those non-FBA people are not going to complain about these negative images because these images don't reflect on them. It reflects on us. So they have no problem showing all of that stuff. And the white supremacists know that. So we are very correct in calling this stuff out because historically we have called this stuff out. We've called it out. Yeah. Even with Flavor of Love, with the whole concept of Flavor of Love. It was some of the members of Public Enemy, and I'm cool with those guys. Chuck has been in my movies. A lot of them understood the balance of Flavor Flav, and I met Flav several times, and I'm cool with Flav, and I like Flav. But Flav, there's supposed to be a balance with Flavor Flav. You understand? That was the purpose of Flavor Flav, was to provide a balance. That's always been a part of foundational Black American culture. We've had the the serious things kind of offset some of the shucking and jiving. There was always a delicate balance with that that was needed. Just like with the civil rights movement, there was a nonviolent sector that was a counterbalance to the violence that was needed, because there was violence, but there needed to be a balance. In the media, you had to show upstanding Black people saying, hey, we're not going to fight anybody, we're going to take the Christian route, we believe in the Lord, and all of us should get together. Oh, if you beat me, I'll turn another cheek. You had that as a front, but behind the scenes you had brothers and sisters ready to take heads off, and they were putting in some work out here in these streets. So that was a perfect balance. Going back to the whole Flavor of Love and Flavor Flav thing, see, with Public Enemy, they needed a balance of Flavor Flav because at the time, late 80s, you had this rap group talking about radical revolution. A lot of people would have been turned off by that, but the balance off that message that Chuck D and this militant rap group had, they had a guy who was kind of a court gesture. So it was, oh God, I like to see him. So Flavor Flav got you in the door, and then Chuck and those guys hit you with the message. So that was a perfect balance. That was a perfect balance. They knew the importance of using Flav. And Chuck was very adamant about having Flav in the group. Flav is like one of the first hype men of hip hop. You understand? And it worked. Now, Flavor Flav by himself, now that's something else. With him by himself getting in all those shenanigans, nah, that's something different. But we got to understand the importance of balance. Let's get Miss Mac Attack. Miss Mac Attack, hop in. Miss Mac Attack, hop in. Turn the microphone on. Miss Mac? Okay, Miss Mac bounce. Okay. Let's get official D to the Dre. D to the Dre. What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's going on? Mic check, mic check.
Yes, indeed. We can hear what's going on, brother.
Yeah, man. I just wanted to say give a shout out, man, and peace of the tribe, peace of ancestors. By the way, I just wanted to let it be known I'm not a Black American. I don't identify it as it. I know my lineage. My people come from Haiti, Dominican Republic. And my great grandparents came from Senegal and Lebanon. So Black American and Black is exclusive to
Yep.
Black Americans from me. I respect that. And reparations is long overdue. For Black Americans, and every time it comes time to Black Americans getting what's owed to them, it's always like people get all up in a roar about it, especially these people who are cosplaying, and
Yeah.
I think it's a problem. And there's corporations out here, like still multi-billion-dollar corporations. You can trace them back to the days of slavery. They got the same last names. They just throughout time they just change their business names or they change their last names. We can track these same corporations and file legitimate claims, and have them pay what's owed. And the guy was talking about earlier, oh, everything's transactional. Well, they can do transactional by giving reparations and providing free financial literacy classes, and some businesses as well, and a little bit more because it's a lot more owed. So there's everyone else get their reparations. I mean, we still paying reparations. The Jews get $30 billion a year
Yeah.
so like when everybody else getting money, but it's time for the Black Americans getting money. Everybody up in an uproar about it. And another thing too, the Black American culture, is what gives soul and life to America. And you see people it's distributed to the whole world. You see people try to mimic it, try to remix it in their own way. But
Oh, yeah.
it's never ever as authentic as the Black American thing. And what else? What else, man?
All right. Well,
Uh,
thank you so much, brother. All right. Thank you. I land your plane. It's good points. Very good points. Let's get too much in here.
How you doing, brother? It's the first time I'm ever speaking to you, man. It's an honor and a privilege, man.
My brother, pleasure to have you on. How are you, sir?
Thank you, brother. I just got a question, man. I run a little small show on TikTok, who's black and who's not black. And a lot of time, people come to me and they're talking about we need solutions. We're always talking about, they say FBA is dividing or whatever. Um, what do you think about a treaty amongst black people, treaty of peace and prosperity, so we can know how to conduct business with each other or and treat each other on the street? I think. What do you think about having a treaty, and then after we come to an agreement and get on code, we come up with a think tank next? What do you think about that?
Well, the thing is, the treaty, how will it be enforced? So you got to have the power to enforce it. You see, that's the
Okay.
thing. We got to look at it in those terms. And when it comes to enforcing the treaty, um, what's going to happen? Who's going to smash down on the white supremacists when they try to infiltrate it? Because anytime we get anything going among ourselves, or we try to get things going on with other black folks and other black groups, the white supremacists, they come in. And here's the problem, because white supremacy, they're always going to be the problem. They're always going to dip their toe in the mix. Who's going to step to them? Because the only group that will go toe to toe with the white supremacists, that's really us. And then we're going to be back in the same bag. That's the problem that we're having as black people globally. The only people that will really, really challenge the white supremacists on a regular basis, that is us. And then we look around and we're looking for some backup because that's what we thought in the civil rights movement. That's why we were stomping for immigration to get more black people over here to be reinforcement when we went up against the white supremacists trying to harm us. We thought, okay, let's get more numbers so when we have a boycott, we can really have the numbers to show. When we really want to step up and get these Molotov cocktails going down, we got more hands out here in the mix. And then what happened was a lot of the immigrants came over, and when it was time to boycott, they were like, "Oh no, nigga, I'm going to Woolworths. I want some ice cream, nigga." Nobody wanted to boycott no more. We got all of these off-code people who didn't have the same mindset and disposition of the black people in Selma and Montgomery in particular, who did the bus boycott because they all got on code because they understood that they were all a part of the same community. You got these other folks who come over here after we done got bloodied and bruised to get them over here, and secretly they're sitting around talking about, oh, don't you stay away from the Akata. Yeah, I know that nigga helped me get here, but don't do hang with that Akata. Stay away from that nigga. It's that going on. And that's been going on. Let's be real, that's been going on for the last few decades secretly. We didn't know that was going on. We see, black person, hey, what's up, brother? And they're looking like, oh, I hate that nigga. Look at that nigga. That was going on. We don't know. We didn't know that that weird stuff was going on in the homes of some of these non-FBA people. We started to see it within the last decade because of social media, because now y'all would hop on these interactive social media sites and say the same stuff that you would say in your homes. And also, we start to see these people get in political positions, and we saw how they continued the benign neglect policy against us. They would get in these positions to undermine any movement that would provide tangibles for us. So now we're saying, hey, we gotta back up and take a head count to see who's who. On code, hop on, man.
Hey, Professor Flex.
What's going?
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Uh, just to carry on, I wanted to talk about something else, but just to piggyback off what you said, that's absolutely true. I'm East African who grew up in San Francisco
Yeah.
and in the Fillmore area, which is was culturally FBA all the way.
Oh yeah.
Um, coming in immigrant from a black country to San Francisco, the FBAs were the only people really that treated us like human beings. You know what I mean? Like family.
Oh yeah.
Not the Asians, not the Hispanics, not the nobody else.
How
So
old were you when you got here, by the way?
I was born and raised here.
Okay.
Yeah, but all the way. So I know, like that's why when the Africans call in and say, "Why you go so hard on us?" I appreciate that you go hard on them because they should know better than anybody.
Yeah.
Because anywhere we immigrate as Africans, we get treated like shit,
Yeah.
except from our FBA family. So
Yes.
I don't appreciate when Africa. I check them even harder than white supremacists because
Yeah.
I expect white supremacists to be white supremacists, But as
Get real.
African, you know. And another thing you said about, I just wanted to bring up this small point about Flavor Flav.
Yeah.
That's real. That's real. That's like having Sambo and Uncle Tom on display, and that's when you learn from not to be like Sambo and be more like Uncle Tom, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And I appreciate you, Tariq. You've been 100 all the way. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much. But yeah, man. Well, he brought up a very good point, man. Listen, the African dude called up with the smoke for us. I don't appreciate that when they have all of this thing. Well, you FBA niggas, you hurt our feelings, nigga. Let me tell you something. Foundational Black Americans, we're the only group of people in the world that has helped and stood up for African and Caribbean immigrants. For real, for real. Can we keep it a buck tonight? We're the only people that has stood up for you consistently. That's why we're not taking no BS. That's why we're not taking any disrespect. No other group stands up for y'all. When y'all leave Africa, y'all be bouncing around countries over there and you're just getting ran out of countries in Europe all over the place. Treated like garbage in all of these places. Let's be real. We saw what happened in the Ukraine when they were getting y'all up out of there. When who were they calling? Those Africans that were up there in the Ukraine when the Ukrainians were smashing down on them, they weren't calling home. They weren't calling to Africa. They were calling for foundational Black Americans. They were naming everybody. Where is Morgan Freeman? We need help. Where's Forrest Whitaker? Denzel Washington? Where's 50 Cent? Where are these niggas? They were calling for foundational Black Americans. No other groups are helping you. We've consistently helped you and stood up for you and fought for your rights. We would do that, even in some of those independence movements. That was foundational Black Americans going over there to Africa, putting a battery in people's backs. It was a foundational Black American helping to write some of the UN charters to help them with their independence. It was foundational Black Americans doing that. Even with the South African apartheid movement, it was foundational Black Americans using their notoriety, going back to Gil Scott Heron, making songs like "What's the Word, Johannesburg." This was in the '70s. We were speaking up against what was happening over there. People like Stevie Wonder, they were um, um, who are already international superstars using their platform to speak out against what was happening to the people in South Africa. that whole apartheid movement and anti-apartheid movement. We were in the forefront of that. In Ethiopia, when they were trying to colonize Ethiopia in the 1930s and 40s, we were lining up to stop that. It was the black press that was getting international notoriety for speaking out against that. And we had our Charles I can't Robinson, Brother Robinson going over there stomping down, flying planes and showing them how to fly planes. Man, we've been stomping for people, man. And then when the Haitian cats come over and then they start talking crazy to us, no, don't do that because hell, y'all get smashed down. It's the white supremacists smashing down on you. And even on that island, you go over there to the Dominican Republic, they're smashing down on you. You there? Ain't nobody speaking out against them, but if we retweet a story, because yeah, people get mad at us for just retweeting stories of other people smashing down on them. You notice that? If we retweet something, we're not even doing anything to you. We just retweet a story and all the anger turns on us. Hey, what are you niggas doing retweeting that? Oh, you niggas are the West. You're retweeting. You FBA niggas are the xenophobic because you're retweeting. You get mad at us for all we do is retweet shit. We just say, hey, that's an interesting story. Why are you niggas not defending us? That's what that boils down to. You know, that's what it boils down to. Not just that we're retweeting the stories, we ain't stepping up with the capes on. That's the thing that bothers them. That's why all the anger is towards us because we're not putting the capes on. Yeah, we'll retweet the story like, "Oh, damn, that's crazy what happened. They saying y'all eat cats, man. Damn. Why would you share that, nigga? Why would you put that out there, nigga? Why would you say that?" All right, man, that's what they saying. Why are you not helping us? No, 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 no. No, we're not putting the capes on because you told us how hard you work. No, no, no. You came over and you told us that you work hard and how much better you are and how much we need to stop talking about racism. That's what y'all would tell us. Y'all would come over here and tell us we talk about racism too much. Leave the white people alone and just work hard like you. Okay, well, that's what we're doing. When the white supremacists are smashing down on you, we're doing what you're saying. We're leaving them alone and we're letting you work hard, right? We're leaving them alone because that's what y'all told us. We talk about racism too much. We blame the white man too much. Well, all right. Well, you don't look at us when they're saying that you eating cats and they're saying that you done barbecued their pit bull. Don't come over here to us. Say, look at what they're saying about us, nigga. No, 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 no. They ain't saying shit about us. They ain't talking about me. Turn around. And look, there's white people out there. Listen, here's the thing that's really funny style. That's really killing them. The white people are like, hey man, these you got these Haitians out here. They're not black Americans now. There's Haitians. So the white people have delineated, and that's really making them mad. Because now the white people are not lumping all black people together. So they're really mad at that. White people are saying, hey, these are not like the black Americans. These are immigrants coming over and they're doing stuff, and we don't like it. And the tether class they're really pissed off at that. You see what your xenophobia has done, nigga? You see? No, 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 no. No, no, no. Y'all wanted to delineate. Remember? When you start winning stuff, when you start getting PhDs, when you start getting awards, when you start winning Grammys, when y'all start doing stuff positive, you are the first to delineate. Oh no, no, don't talk about we all the same nigga. No, no. When you start with the minute you get anything that looks like a win under your belt, you make sure it ain't us. Oh no, 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 no. Uh, we need a own category for music. We need Afro beats as our own category. You want a whole different thing. When you start winning, you want to separate your ass so fast, and that's fine. That is fine. Anything that resembles a win, boy, y'all run with that. That's why with that girl, the little South African girl, Tyler, the tethers are acting like we're bothered by her. We're not bothered by the Tyler girl. I hear this a lot on social media. The tethers are your FBA niggas, y'all hate Tyler because she is so much better. She is the new Beyonce nigga. You're just mad and jealous. No, no, we're not. Nobody's mad and jealous of little Tyler. Nobody's jealous of her. And nobody cares. We really don't. We do not care. Let her do her thing. We're not knocking that little girl. Let her do her thing. People had an issue with the whole colored thing, whatever. 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 But nobody's tripping on her. Nobody's tripping on your girl Tyler. All right. Shout out to everybody in here. We're in here deep. I might get back on later. Let me get out of here because that's why I do my broadcast late at night. It's always shit going on at my house in the daytime. Dogs, mail people, Amazon, people ringing the doorbell, people coming by. But listen, go get your Rootwork deodorant. Speaking of musty, go to rootworkstyle.com. Rootworkstyle.com to get the Rootwork deodorant, and go to microphonecheck.com.
In the heart of nature, we find our true strength, a connection to our roots, to the land, to each other. Introducing Rootwork deodorant, infused with the potent power of High John the Conqueror root. Embrace the natural strength and resilience passed down through generations. Feel the purity of natural ingredients, harmonizing with your body and spirit. Rootwork deodorant, bringing you in tune with nature and with yourself. Rootwork deodorant. Connect, empower, thrive. Available now at rootworkstyle.com.